We do want to let you know that NYPD Commissioner has said that this scene is contained. The shooter has been neutralized. We'll have to leave a special report there. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, and we continue coverage of a Midtown Manhattan shooting here on Fox Local. We're streaming live. So what we do know is that at least 2 people have been shot in a Midtown Manhattan building. This is on East 52nd between Park Avenue and Lexington Avenue. Sources say that the shooter has killed himself. We're still learning more information. Again, this has all been unfolding. We first started hearing about this sometime after 6 p.m. A lot of witness reports paint a very, very scary situation, and we even have pictures of the suspect kind of just walking, striding into this area of Park Avenue and East 52nd Street with an AR-15 along his side. So at this point, NYPD tells us that the scene has been contained and the shooter has been neutralized, but it is still a very active scene out there. A lot of police presence. A lot of the area has been shut down. We've got a number of reporters on the scene as well, Linda Schmidt, Kendall Green, who've been reporting and grabbing some witnesses to talk about what they're saying. One person telling us that they heard gunshots popping. They also saw that shooter walking into the building with an AR-15. This is a look from Sky Fox right now, live over the scene. Officers look to be searching a vehicle. It's a very, very active scene. We're kind of getting all the details right now. Still a very large police presence. But what we do know is 2 people have been shot, at least 2 people, including a police officer. And this has sparked a massive police presence. We know that this is a very busy area in terms of commercial businesses, big hedge funds, law firms, banks. You think about this around 6:10 with this all unfolding towards the end of the workday, and there's a big MTA station in the area as well, 53rd and Lex. People at the end of their day heading home, so this sparked a shelter in place for a lot of the businesses in that building. One person who we talked to said that he was evacuated for 30 to 45 minutes. So as you can imagine, a very scary ordeal with people hearing gunshots, with people even seeing the shooter walking in with an AR-15. Let's get out to Kendall Green, who is live in that area. Kendall, it's still a very active scene behind you. What can you tell us?
Yeah, hey, good evening, Natasha. We're here along Park and 54th. I'm just going to give you a look right now. You see a bunch of people. They were inside a building that's pretty close to where everything unfolded. They're now being evacuated. Several folks in that situation who were working in this building at the time, they tell me they were told to be in a shelter in place because that was an active shooter going on. And I talked to a few people out here that are waiting for loved ones, just wanting to make sure that they're okay. But one of the witnesses we spoke with earlier, he says he was in the corner building that's about maybe a block over, just from the corner from where this all happened. And one of the managers or law enforcement, they told him that they needed to be in place. And he looked outside from, I think, the 30th floor, he recalled, and he saw that the danger inside. But as AP has reported, at least 2 people, including New York police officers, were shot on Monday in Midtown office building that houses some of the country's top financial firms and National Football League. That includes the National Football League. And police haven't immediately identified any victims, but we spoke with one of the witnesses here who says he saw some of those victims that were in a black BMW. I believe Sky Fox had some shots of that actual car, but he said he saw they didn't appear to be alive at the time when he saw after this shooting. He said about maybe early, once the shooting happened, he heard saw about 5 officers, and then from there, this is the scene you have. Dozens, I mean, you maybe even say hundreds are out here lining Park Avenue. And this is with a bunch of businesses, banks, firms, and like I said, including the NFL. And we spoke to some of those witnesses who just really honestly couldn't believe what they saw here, being this close to Park Avenue, here in Midtown, busy side of New York, police presence in this area, unlike anything they've ever seen before, Natasha.
Yeah, Kendall, I just can't get over that picture that we're showing of that suspect. He just seems to be walking with such purpose, striding and he looked like he was wearing a business suit with sunglasses, just walking into this very busy area. Look at that, and you can see the AR-15. It's just unbelievable, all those people around him, too. What's your take? I guess, are there still people out there just in shock?
Yeah, I'll show you. We want to show you some of the folks. If you look in this area, you can see folks are lining this sidewalk where police have moved us back, and some of them have been looking at pictures of that suspect, and they've been standing here just basically in awe, like in shock of what they saw. This is an AR-15, as you described, walking into a building like that. So, of course, there's a lot of shock here, a lot of worry, because it's unlike anything they've ever seen. But yeah, they've been here. Some of them have been here for the last hour, an hour and a half since this stuff unfolded. And, they told me they couldn't believe this was happening.
What do we know about that black BMW you mentioned? Because we do have video from Sky Fox showing police appear to be taking things out of the car, looking at the car. What are you hearing about this vehicle that police are searching?
Yeah, this is according to witnesses, not anything confirmed by police so far. But one of the individuals that we spoke with, he said that he saw those individuals after the shooting he said they weren't in. They didn't appear to be alive, and he said that there was also maybe an attempted bank robbery in that area, and that may have been the start of it. So we're not sure how, if that's the exact connection here, but he told me that was a bank robbery in the area. And when he saw that those people were there, he assumed that those were the perpetrators involved with that shooting so far.
Yeah, it's really interesting because people were hearing the gunshots and bank robbery. And again, we're getting all this information in drips and drabs, but we're also hearing from sources that the shooter shot himself on the 33rd floor. So you have to imagine that he was in the building for some bit. Are you hearing anything about that, Kendall?
Yeah, we don't know about how long the shooter was inside, but we did see some of the people that were standing here on the side worried about their loved ones because they work here close to where everything was happening. So if he was there in that same building, I couldn't imagine having a family member inside or worried about whether they're safe or if they're going to be okay with something like this going on.
Yeah, such a scary situation. We even talked to Matt Onimus, one of our Fox employees who was walking home trying to grab a train from Grand Central, and he said he just saw police officers rushing down the street, some of them with machine guns. And this is a very, very busy area. Behind you, what seems to be the perimeter in terms of police presence?
It's got to be at least, I'm here on 54th, it's got to be at least 3 to 5 blocks here along Park Avenue. So 54th Street, East 54th Street. This scene basically spans a couple of blocks. It looks like it's all the way to 55, 56, a little further up, further down, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just laid with a bunch of police, laid with ambulance, laid with law enforcement here, just trying to keep a hold on the matter right now.
Yeah.